Ladies and gentlemen, children, women, everyone around the world, it is time to celebrate after we had an incredible May the 4th be with you. We saw the Cinco de Mayo bring the world together as we drank margaritas and had a huge amount of fun. And now it is May 9th, Thursday, a little afternoon, 12:24 p.m. Eastern Time, and it is time for another Office Hours. And we don't do office hours unless we bring the best trainers in the business from PayProTech together. And this time we're doing it a little differently because I have in the middle of the screen, not from Warsaw, Indiana, 2 hours north of me, but actually just, well, it doesn't have a dot, but Whitestown is up in here, as you can see my dot, and I'm down in here. So about 10, 15 minutes away from each other is Mr. Mike Stetzel. Mike, how are things? I know you're taking care of some family things. You're not in Warsaw. You're in Whitestown.
Yep, I'm down here spending some time with my mom. I love your reference to May the 4th. Probably a nerd holiday. You have the Cinco de Mayo, which is a Hispanic holiday that Americans have literally taken over for their own drinking purposes. But how much of a better month could it be? Soon it'll be Indy 500 time here in Indiana. You know what? I'll bet Jenny can top it, though, from Colorado. There's always good things happening there, too.
There is. Well, here's what I know is I get on the phone with Jay Salee from the same office Jenny's in on 2 days ago, and she's like, it's snowing here. No one's coming into the office. And I'm like, no, that doesn't happen in May, but I know it does when you're that far high in the Rocky Mountains. How are things, Jenny? Has the snow melted?
For the most part, but it's still really cold. It was like 27 degrees this morning when I had to go let my dogs outside at like 5:30 this morning. It was so cold. But it's okay because around here we have a lot of wildfires. So the more snow and rain that we get during the season, it really does help for a really great summer. And I love the summers around here as well. So it's okay. I can handle a few more weeks of cold to make sure we get a good summer coming.
Well, I've never lived in a climate where it gets down to 27 in May. So,
no.
But I have been places. I always know, like I used to spend my summer camps in northern Michigan, like just south, right up there near Traverse City, like way north. And it would get, close to freezing during the summer. And I always like, man, how do you do this? And then I hear our friends in Toronto and our friends in Montreal and how chilly it still is. I'm glad that I'm not doing that. I thought it was chilly today. Put a pullover on. It's only 66 degrees. And that's how we roll here in Indiana.
Yeah, I think it's warm. It's like 50. So I'm like, oh, I don't need my jacket. Like just the opposite.
But it went from 27 to 50 degrees. And 2 days ago, you had somewhat impassable driving conditions.
Yeah, when the sun comes out, it really does warm up. But it's been like so overcast and kind of gross out. So like as soon as the sun comes out, everybody around here gets really excited.
And you're 5,000 feet closer to the sun than I am sitting right here.
Yeah.
And I'm in my basement, so I'm an extra 12 feet down. But
but Jenny made a positive out of it.
Yep.
It's going to keep those fires down.
Well, and I'm glad about that. We don't want to do. Hopefully, knock on wood. No fire season like you had 3 years ago. I think was the really bad one. Let's not do that again.
Yep.
I don't want to hear pictures and be able to. I don't want Glenwood Springs to be able to be pulled up as national news.
The whole town lights on fire sometimes. Yeah. So we don't want any of that happening.
All right. Well, it is time first for our tip of the week. We're talking restaurants this week. We are talking how can you sell more to restaurants. And our first tip of the week for this one, we're talking restaurants, comes from Jenny Rickel. Jenny, can you tell us what is your tip of the week to how to be able to maybe sell to a few more restaurants?
So networking and referrals, everybody. So restaurants have such a broad range of vendors that they work with every day, from people who sell plates, from people who go ahead and sell the food. There is a lot of networking that you can get in with there and then start a referral program. If you can get in with these vendors that work with all of the restaurants, and then you can help get these referrals in and make that connection, make that networking so you guys can help each other. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. This is a great opportunity to get some more deals and get your name out there. The more that you have your name out there as an established sales partner for point of sale systems, and it's the buzz of all the vendors, all the restaurants, everybody around, the more successful that you're going to be. So a good way to get your foot in the door to do that is to connect with these vendors, start a referral program that best suits your business, and then you'll be able to really get that fire rolling and see what happens.
I love it. And I think one of the things we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to sneak peek, I bring all of us on this, is in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to be taking a few of our agents that have been selling quite a few clusters, And as a reward, I'm going to put them to harder work, and I'm taking them to the National Restaurant Show, looking and seeking to build referral partnerships, and also see how some of the other companies are selling against us, because we'll have competitors there too. But we're going to walk the show floor, and we're then going to, one of the things that's the requirement of coming along and hanging out with, getting to hang out with Matt Proctor and Josh Brown and me, is that we're going to be talking and putting out content about how to build referral partnerships. And I think this is going to be a synergistic world here in the next couple of weeks and months as we really talk about how to sell more to restaurants. And we're doing that because we believe we have one of the best POS competitors in the restaurant space than we've had in a long time. And that will lead us into our tool of the week. That was a world-class professional.
Yes,
right
it
there.
was.
Mr. Mike Stetzel, what is your tool of the week? Yep.
It is how to, well, basically the tool is clusterlead.com, and we're going to talk about how to submit a lead there. So we all are familiar with POSlead.com. Clusterlead.com, as I think everybody knows by now, is going to specifically get you the attention for a cluster POS. And that is what we're looking at first every time we submit a lead. So this form is very simple. You're going to see that it looks very much like POSlead.com. And what we're planning to do, what's going to happen, is this form will be what we use for all point of sale leads in the future. Right now, use this for clusterlead.com. Remember, we're asking some important qualifications here for the monthly volume and the different things that you may be able to include, like a processing statement. And at the bottom there, those notes, the more notes you can put in that section before one of our POS sales pros calls you, the better they're prepared to talk to you about what you may need, versus spending the first 15 minutes of your conversation explaining what you need. Let's put it all right here. So with that being said, if you have questions about that, call one of us. But that clusterlead.com, as just so you all know, is now being handled by the POS pros. So the POS pros are handling all of our point of sale leads again. Let me know if you have any questions though.
I don't think Mike and Jenny probably know this yet, but there's a new thing that's happening. When you're going to clusterlead.com, and eventually this will be true at POSlead.com, is there will be a greater merger of those will be the same form. But when you go to clusterlead.com, to make the process with the POS pros go even faster, always use the same email address that you put in when you go to lead form for your email. And when you do that, it's going to auto assign you to your POS specialists that you're always working with. They have 5 POS specialists that they assign to, and it makes it so they can contact you even faster because they're getting that alert. In the past way, our system, it would go to a general inbox, and about 3 or 4 times a day, the administration team of the POS pros would go and push those to the right people. Now we're sending it directly, instantaneously, really fast, all the way right to the POS pros so they can work with you. So I'm excited about that. I spend way too much time trying to figure out all these little ways to make things go a little faster, automate it, and make your life a little easier. If you have ideas, anything, come talk to us, because we're always here trying to improve our system, and that's what I'm going to show you is how you can improve with your solution of the week this week. And our solution is back to kind of one that I have shown a little bit before, and I'm going to bring up the screenshot here, the screen share, not screenshot, because it's in the live screen share. This is from Apollo.io. I've kind of zoomed in here. I'll zoom back in, but Apollo.io is a data sharing site that has recently, since January, added in a whole bunch of what's called buying intent data. And you can see I've already chosen this. This is only for paid. You can do free versions of Apollo to test it out. And if you want to test it out, I can send you a personalized link that will even give you some longer free trials out of it. Full disclosure, I make a little. It's an affiliate link, so you would make a little, or I'd make a little money off of it, but it doesn't cost you any extra. And but I'd also walk you through on how we're seeing a lot of our partners starting to use Apollo. I think, to my knowledge, we're up to like 15. And look at what they have in here as buying intent data. And there's more restaurant management software, restaurant scheduling software, restaurant delivery software, restaurant POS systems, point of sale systems. So you have through emergent services in there. And when you're doing that, you're being able to be able to, I can click edit here, and on the paid program that I have here, I can choose up to 9 of them, and I can type in just restaurant and look for people that are in market. And what does that mean? It means that Apollo's looking for, they have bakery software, catering software, all these different things that you can choose for restaurants, and you can create lists for people. Now, I wouldn't suggest if you're just targeting a population of 100,000 people, you're going to not find a lot of people that have that intent. This means this intent data is data that they are putting in there because they're searching for, or they know that they've recently posted that they're interested. Maybe some of these bigger companies, they may put RFPs out there, but they know that they are looking and have been interested in buying a restaurant point of sale or a restaurant. And they are finding that intent data by what they're doing across the internet. But it's one way that you can start building restaurant lists, and it works really, really well in large metropolitan areas. In Indianapolis, I was able to find like 27 restaurants that they said were in market for the intent. You search up Warsaw, Indiana, you're not going to find hardly anything. Maybe you might find one. I didn't do it. I don't know. But it is, you just have to look at it and do it. But it's just one more way you can start trying to create lists that you can then email, that you can then call. And if you're interested in creating cold calling lists, and buyer intent data is one of the holy grails when you're trying to put those lists together, because you know that they've, at least in the last, it's also, so Apollo, ZoomInfo does it differently, that each one does it differently, but Apollo does it that intent means that they've had search in the last 90 days. So sometimes you got to be staying up on it, and also realize that it's something you do on a regular basis. But if you're interested in learning more on that, I am here to train you. Shoot me an email, nmanahan@papertech.com, and I'll help you learn. I'm not an expert fully in Apollo yet, but we're using it on some others, personally for some things, for some of our recruiting and working with you guys as partners. But we're also in data enrichment, but this is also something we're doing with some of our partners as they're jumping in and creating lists, and restaurants are something that you can get involved in. So that's my overview of a solution of the week. And now, in the middle of the screen, we're going to bring the final word. Mr. Mike Stetzel, I didn't tell you, but I know you didn't do it last week, so you are on the clip, giving you a few seconds to think of what you're going to say for the final word. Mike, it's all you.
The final word. Today is May 9th. We have Mother's Day coming up. Exactly. A huge round of applause for all the mothers out there. The mothers at PayProTech, we are blessed with lots of mothers at PayProTech who have some great kids, including, the founder of PayProTech. His mom works with us. But yeah, just be sure to acknowledge your mom this week, and be sure to get a card in her hand, at least if you can't see her. I think those types of things are really important to moms, to at least have that little bit of, hey, I love you, Mom. I appreciate you. Here's at least a sign of that if I can't see you today. So I think that's it.
Love it. All right. As we bring it off, we say happy Mother's Day to Jenny. We say happy office. Wow, that's really large. We'll take that back. I'll have to work on that sizing. Paul Kent says hi to us. We are so thankful you watch, listen, subscribe, get on YouTube. Make sure you have that little alert button on. I know so many of you are not YouTube I'm not going to say expert, I like just junkie like I am, but if you're putting that little bell so you get that alert that YouTube is going live. And also coming soon, I think probably in the next couple of weeks, that we found a new way. We're going to have a way for you to subscribe so you get text messages and emails every time we go live on our YouTube channel. Because we do it about 3 to 6 times a week in different ways. Sometimes it stays on there like office hours. This is on there. We don't take it off, and you can watch it later. Some things, if you don't get on our YouTube channel, we take it off, and you're going to miss the wonderful. I did one the other day for 45 minutes where I was just on there answering questions with about 6 people. We're going to do more of those things where we're just jumping on live on our YouTube channel. So make sure you like and subscribe, as all the cool kids say. On behalf of the greatest mother on the screen, Jenny Rickle, on behalf of Mike Stetzel in the middle of the screen taking care of his mom on Mother's Day, I'm Nate Manahan. Thank you guys, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Everybody.
Bye.